Here at 5 News, we've closely followed the case of Britain's worst ever child killer, Lucy Letby, who was convicted of murdering 7 babies and attempting to kill 7 others. Now, the former nurse is serving multiple whole life terms and has already seen 2 appeals against her convictions fail. Well, now Letby's replaced her legal team and is planning a fresh appeal that comes as a formal inquiry into the events surrounding those murders starts next week. Well, I'm joined now by Mark McDonald, her new barrister. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Look, she was convicted in 2 separate trials in the last year, wasn't she? Is there really a strong case here that she's innocent?
Absolutely there is. And I will be drafting the application to the Criminal Cases Review Commission. You know, I've been so encouraged by the amount of people that have come forward, experts in neonatology, anaesthetics, pathology, statistics that have come forward and have identified flaws in the trial that now want to give evidence for her and will want to draft reports to put in to the CCRC to assist. Now, what I've got to be absolutely clear here is I am instructed to do the CCRC application. That means I am asking them to return this to the Court of Appeal on fresh evidence. I'm right at the start of the process. I was only instructed last week.
Yes.
I've only just started getting into the trial papers, so it's going to take a long time.
Sure. What do you think the fresh evidence might be? There's been various things reported that was sort of, you know, not brought out in the trial. I mean, what sorts of things are we looking at?
So we're looking really at issues in relation to statistics, and I know that sounds probably quite bizarre to hear. Well, what statistics got to do with it? Well, you may remember that there were some bold assertions made during the trial in relation to, for example, there was a spike of deaths. She was always on duty. Well, in fact, when analysed by some of the leading statisticians in the country, they're seeing flaws in those assertions made by the prosecution. To such a fundamental extent, we believe it undermines the conviction. But it's not just that. It's medical evidence that has come forward, medical evidence that contradicts some of the medical evidence that was given at trial by prosecution experts.
I mean, just briefly, what sorts of medical evidence are we talking about here?
So we're looking at neonatology for a start. We're looking at the whole idea in relation to insulin, the testing of insulin, whether or not the testing was reliable, whether or not that the assertion that there was insulin present is actually accurate. Now, I've got leading epidemiologists. I've actually got the people behind the testing equipment and the engineers that built these machines to say how reliable are they and how unsafe it is to take it forward to say that there was insulin. So it's a whole range of areas. And
sure.
I'm trying not to be too specific intentionally because I haven't got the report yet.
Sure.
I've just got the people coming forward and saying, look, this is what we've got.
Sure. Look, experts have said, you know, the whole process was robust. You know, she's been found guilty in the way lots of people have been found guilty. I mean, it was so unanimous, wasn't it?
Yeah. So was the Guildford 4, so was the Birmingham 6, so was some of the biggest miscarriages of justice in UK history, and yet they were found to be innocent. So just because she has been convicted by a jury does not mean that there's something has gone wrong and she may be innocent. So my job is to look at what was presented to the jury, look at what's come in now, look at the fresh evidence and see whether or not this conviction is unsafe. And from what I have seen so far, I think I've got quite a lot of evidence to say that there are some real concerns here in relation to those convictions.
Mark McDonald, thank you very much for that.